Happy Monday and welcome back to the Monday Marketing Rundown. I'm Dan, and if you caught last week's episode from Dentalscapes, you know that Google's March 2026 core update is actively rolling out right now, reshuffling search rankings across the web as we speak. Well, this week I want to pull on a thread that connects directly to that update, because one of the clearest ways to strengthen your position during a core update rollout and to come out on the other side ranking better than your competition is something that most dental practices are either doing inconsistently or not thinking about at all. We're talking about review velocity. And if you've never heard the term before, you're going to want to pay close attention because it's become one of the most important ranking signals in local search. And the timing right now, with this update still in progress, makes it more relevant than ever. But let me back up for a second and set the stage. If you've been following along with the rundown for a while or listening to our podcast, you know that Google reviews have always mattered for local search. But what's changed is how Google is measuring them. For years, the assumption was simple. More reviews mean better rankings. Get 100 reviews, 200 reviews, and you're good. But that's not quite how it works anymore. What Google is now explicitly prioritizing is review velocity, meaning how frequently new reviews are coming in. Recent data from Bright Local confirms that 74% of consumers only care about reviews from the last 90 days. Now think about that for a second. 3/4 of the patients searching for a dentist right now are largely ignoring anything older than 3 months. And Google's algorithm is following that same logic. Here's a real-world example of what this looks like. A practice with 200 reviews collected over the past year will outrank a practice sitting on 250 reviews that hasn't received a new one in several months. The fresher profile wins. Consistent recent activity is what signals to Google that this is a thriving, active practice, and that's what gets rewarded with visibility. And here's where this gets particularly relevant for dental practices right now. We're in the middle of a messy stretch for Google reviews. There's been an ongoing issue since late 2025 where legitimate reviews have been disappearing from Google business profiles, sometimes dozens at a time with no warning. Google acknowledged a bug back in October, said it was mostly fixed, and then the complaints kept coming. Business owners across the country are still reporting missing reviews in 2026. Search Engine Roundtable has been covering it closely, and the short story is this: the problem is not fully resolved. What that means for you is this: if you've been passively collecting reviews and relying on that count as a bank account you can draw from, you may be more exposed than you think. Reviews that you've had for a year or two could disappear overnight. And if you haven't been consistently generating new ones, that leaves a real hole in your local search presence. So what can practice owners do about this? Well, a few specific things. First, make review requests a systematic part of your patient checkout process. Not occasional, not when you remember to ask, but systematic. Every satisfied patient, every visit. The practices winning the velocity game have built this into their workflow. That could be a text message sent within an hour of the appointment, a follow-up message sent the same evening, or a staff member handing a patient a QR code on the way out the door. Whatever fits your practice culture, but it needs to be consistent and repeatable. Second, aim for steady organic growth rather than trying to get a surge of reviews all at once. This is actually important. Google's spam detection can flag sudden spikes in review volume, which can cause those reviews to get filtered out before they even post. Slow and steady wins the race. 8 to 10 new reviews a month. It's far more valuable than 30 reviews in 1 week, followed by months of silence. Third, respond to every review you receive. This is one of the most underutilized ranking levers in local SEO. When you respond to a review, Google indexes that response as fresh content on your profile. It signals engagement, and naturally your responses can mention your practice name, your services, and your location, which reinforces your relevance for local search. Businesses that respond to more than 75% of their reviews see measurably more bookings. That's not a coincidence. And fourth, and this is a quick, easy one, go check your current review count right now. Go to your Google business profile, look at your reviews, and note the date on your most recent one. If it's been more than 2 or 3 weeks since a new review came in, that is a signal that your velocity has stalled. Make that the thing you fix this week. So here's the bottom line. Review velocity isn't a nice to have in 2026. It is an active, significant ranking factor, accounting for nearly a quarter of local pack weight, according to the latest research. Your competitors are figuring this out, trust me. The practices that are showing up consistently at the top of Google Maps are the ones treating reviews as a living, ongoing part of their marketing, not just some milestone you hit once and forget about. If you want help building a review generation system that actually works for your practice, one that's consistent, compliant, and built specifically around how dental patients think, that's exactly what we do with our clients at Dentalscapes. Head over to dentalscapes.com/start and schedule a free strategy call with our team. We'd love to take a look at where you stand. I'll see you next Monday.